It's my pleasure to report about a study which I presented at ASCO. Unfortunately, it was a virtual meeting, but I want to guide you through the major findings of the COMBI-AD trial, which was an adjuvant trial in melanoma patients with stage 3 disease. So we included stage 3A if the sentinel node micrometastasis diameter was more than 1 millimeters, stage 3B, stage 3C, and all of this was AGCC 7th edition classification for melanoma. All of these patients had a V600E or V600K mutation in the tumor, and they were eligible if the resection was done less than 12 weeks before the randomization. So patients have been treated with either dabrafenib and trametinib at conventional dosing, so BRAF and the MEK inhibitor was combined, as it is approved for stage 4 disease, compared to a placebo. We included in a 1-to-1 randomization 870 patients, and in the first analysis after 3 years, we already showed that the overall survival is on a good way, which showed almost the same hazard ratio as relapse and distant metastasis-free survival. The second analysis after 4 years showed an update after a median follow-up. I was saying 4 years, but to be precise, it's 44 months, that there is a confirmed relapse-free and distant metastasis-free benefit. And now I was able to show the data after 5 years. And to say something about baseline characteristics, all of this was well balanced, the well-known prognostic factors across the 2 study arms as expected. And the major finding of this clinical trial is that the relapse-free survival after 5 years is still separated between dabrafenib and trametinib treated patients compared to placebo treated patients. And the difference is maintained from year 4 to year 5. So only 2 or 3% of patients will have a relapse after 4 years. And I think this is really good to say that the curves are stable, and it confirms the cure rate model, which was published a year and a half ago, which showed a difference of 17% between the 2 groups. So it's likely that we can cure the absolute number of 17% of melanoma patients in the adjuvant setting. And right now, relapse-free survival rate after 5 years is 52% for dab-tram compared to 36% for the placebo group. The relapse-free survival benefit appears across all subgroups which have been evaluated, which is a good sign. It's not just one group, it's all groups which may have a benefit. We did the subgroup analysis in particular for stage 3A with a hazard ratio of 0.61, for stage 3B with a hazard ratio of 0.50, and for stage 3C, the group with the highest risk for a relapse hazard ratio here is 0.48. You see that this is very much the same in the same ballpark. Also, we showed an update on AGCC 8th edition and the translation of the data into the new classification. And here, the stage 3A patients are no longer statistically significantly benefiting from dab-tram compared to placebo, but this is because the group of stage 3A patients is only half of the size compared to the 7th edition of the melanoma classification. So the number of relapses is very low in both groups. But all the other groups, stage 3B, C, and D, are benefiting with clinical significant results. Distant metastasis-free survival after 5 years, 65% compared to 54%, corresponding to a hazard ratio of 0.55, another very good result. And I need to say that we have no update on overall survival. This will be shown in the very final analysis, which is scheduled in about 2 years. It's an event-driven analysis, and there's no update on toxicity evaluation simply because all patients terminated the treatment a long time ago. The treatment was just for 1 year, and we have the 5-year observation period right now. And therefore, I can only conclude that there is a maintained benefit in relapse-free survival, that we are likely to cure patients with dabrafenib and trametinib in the long run. And I think this is a major finding of the clinical trial I presented. I'd like to thank you for listening, and all the best for you. Bye-bye.